Okay.
All right, sorry about that, guys. Don't know what happened, but the live just ended itself. So we're jumping back on. We're going to wait a couple of minutes until everybody else jumps back on. And then we'll continue with Naz's comment, which had to do with bacterial infections.
Hey, Spring. She just jumped on.
Hi, Spring. Dedicated fan since day
We have 5
one.
people on. It's going up. Just give it a couple of seconds, guys. Let's get everyone to jump back on here. So Nazro had asked the question about how to treat
Bacterial. Yeah. It's non-stop today.
So kind of Brian Mullen wanted to jump.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to filter out all the nonsense. All right.
All right. So we have 14 people, 16. It's jumping back on. Sorry. So let's do it.
All right. So bacterial infections. Much different story than what we're dealing with right now in the spring startup, but for people who may have their pond running or are starting to see bacterial infections, it's a little hard to treat in the cold weather, in the cold water too. But our go-tos are a couple of different products. Medicated food is always a good start, especially if the fish is continuing to eat. It's always a lifesaver for people because it starts something very quickly. But if you have the ability to remove the fish and maybe place it in a bowl to treat or to place it into a QT, a very, very well-known product and that works really well, and I've had plenty of experience doing it myself, going out on koi health visit service calls, is the Bride medicated ointment. So what this is a, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kimberly, if you're on, I think if I remember correctly, it's a 4 active ingredient ointment that you're putting onto the fish. Active antibiotic and corticosteroids to help the inflammation and the bacterial infection that's occurring on whatever part of the fish it may be. The fins, the body with an ulceration or raised scales, mouth rot. It's very, very good. If you want additional proof that it works, Sean had hurt himself with the exhaust of a killed. Right, you can attest to this that it worked on your wound before you even got to go to the doctor, right?
What was that?
The medicated ointment, it worked on.
Yeah, so I actually used the Bride on. I had a wound that Michael was just mentioning, and it literally worked within a day. Like it was all like for days it was really bad. I was like, let me try something else. It's like, oh, I have some Bride ointment. If it works on the koi, maybe it'll work on me, and it worked amazing. It literally. Within a day, like it was all like started healing.
It has a bunch of stuff inside that works really, really well together. It's like a synergic relationship with all the chemicals in there. Helps to keep the fish really, 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 really good. Something that we do here, and that I'll stress to you if you're comfortable with it, especially Jameson and I, we will aggressively clean the fish and the wound around it. I want you guys to take this with a grain of salt because it's the way we do it, and you guys may not be comfortable or willing to do what we do. Not always necessary, but if you pull the scales, be gentle with it, make sure the fish is sedated, which with whatever sedative you want to use, whether it's MS-22 or clove oil. That's at your own discretion. Pulling scales is something that we do, especially if it's really too far gone. It just helps to clean the area, have a more fresh start, and then once you put the Bride ointment, it seals up the area, makes it nice and clean, and then it'll take a couple of weeks for the scales to grow back.
We could actually do a live video at some point where we do.
It's a little deep. You can see what we do if you guys are interested. It is a little gross. It's a little painful for some people to watch, but in the grand scheme of things, you're trying to help a live animal with the issues that it's having.
Okay. So Dan and Austin Brett say they're seeing a lot of freezing going on. Guys, is it still freezing or are we moving around now?
Should be good.
I mean, I have a full signal here.
It's going to reconnect.
Let's see what happens here. Let us know if that's any better.
Okay. It's going to take a couple of seconds before it gets a little better in here.
Frozen with sound. Okay. Guys, let us know if that's okay.
We'll wait a little bit before I continue.
He hasn't moved since he said something about an injury. Oh. All right, it's good now. Okay. Still freezing off and on. Keep freezing.
I would recommend people logging off and logging back on.
Guys, maybe log off and log back on again. Right now, it's running pretty good. We had a situation that's now fixed. All right, good now. Spring said. All right, sounds good. Better now. Yeah, we just reset the Wi-Fi. So, all right, Dan Nicole says he's good. All right, so we were just discussing. May have to step back a little bit. We were just discussing treatments.
Right. So the Bride medicated ointment is very good as a topical treatment. It's almost the best on the market, I would say, just because it not only works on fish, but the injury that we were talking about, Sean had accidentally burned himself really badly and used the Debride after a number of days after nothing else was working, and it helped within a day to heal back up the spot pretty quickly, I would say, right?
Yeah, I think it works really fast.
I mean, we've seen it too. Sometimes, on the bottle, it says to use 2 times for 2 days or 1 time for 4 days. Sometimes one treatment is all you need, especially if you catch it early and you clean the area well. You want to make sure that the area is clean. Something that Jameson and I will do here at the store, which may not be something that you guys would want to do or have the ability to do, but when possible and when necessary, we will pull scales off the fish and clean the area very well so that the medication can actually have a much stronger effect on the fish. If you have a bunch of necrotic or dying scales, it may hinder the healing process. So sometimes taking the sacrifice of taking off a couple of scales, cleaning the area well, and then introducing that Debride medicated ointment onto that affected spot will help to aid and almost quicken the healing process for the fish.
Right. So Nazro, I hope we answered your question.
One other thing that I will add on to the Debride medicated ointment is if you want a whole pond bacterial treatment, then chloramine T will be the way to go. It is a strong medication. What I will stress is make sure you know your gallonage. If you don't know your gallonage, take a conservative route. Measure out your pond, do it on a pond calculator, and then maybe do 3/4 of what it actually says. You want to be as conservative as possible, because if you overdose on this, you will kill your fish. This is my warning to you. It's the warning on the bottle. It's the warning on all other forms that you may see for chloramine T. It is very strong. If your fish are too far gone, don't blame the medication, because it also says it on the bottle. I'm going to explain it to you here. If the fish is too weak and too far gone, a strong medication like chloramine T may not work for them, and it may actually kill them off. It's not the medication that's killing them off. It's how weak they are, and they can't sustain the effect of the medication. So it's just, it is what it is in that case. You have to just take that and use your own discretion to use that medication.
So Allison Zavadi asked, does the bride need to be stored in any specific way by tube of the bride clogged or hardened after 2 days?
So yes, so it should be refrigerated just to keep it contained. If it's too hot, it may squirt out. So the question was, Allison was asking how to store the Bride ointment, because in her case it dried up. Every time you use it, you want to make sure that you recap it fully and make sure that it's clean. Sometimes any introduction to other material may actually harden the ointment. If it does harden, you can always use a toothpick of some sort or some sort of sharper object to break up the crud that will build up. but always storing it in the refrigerator and keeping it, recovering the cap, putting it back on after usage to make sure that it's not being exposed to stuff that will actually dry it out. It does happen. It does dry out. But if it dries off on the cap, then if you just stick something to break up the blockage, you'll still be able to use whatever is left inside.
So Lisa had asked...
Lisa Rios?
So Lisa Rios had asked what medications that you were talking about. I'm not sure if it was because you had jumped over to the chloramine T. You were asking, she's asking about chloramine T. My guess is that's what it would be about because we talked about Prozzy a while ago.
So the medications that we've talked about.
10%. Sean always gets 10%.
So get the 25. Just get the 25. Yeah, because it has 30 grams inside. So you'll do half and half, 15 and 15. You'll be fine. It's right here, Biale.
It's over here, they said.
Yeah, there's a 50 and there's a 100.
What's the shelf life? Like 1 month?
Long time.
I'll just keep it. I'll get the video.
What's that, the
this is
50?
not the last time I'm going to need to medicate them
This is the 100.
at some point.
All right, sorry about that. So for bacterial, we talked about for medicating purposes was the Bride medicated ointment, which is a topical treatment, and the Coizyme, which is a maintenance, or after you've treated with your chemicals, it'll help to continue aiding the fish, and chloramine T, which is a whole pond treatment, which is
That's what they're talking
a little rough.
All right. So with that, I think we can continue to move on because we're just almost at the 2-hour mark here.
If you guys have questions about this, I would stress more to have a scheduled virtual call with me. You can go on coinmarket.com, go on the personal shopper, which is the top bit of the website, make an appointment, and we'll have a conversation about this. When you're making an appointment, always try to be specific at the bottom of the page with the notes. Just say what you want to discuss. That way, come prepared to the meeting. The less information I have, the longer the meeting is, and the more I have to prep during your meeting time than beforehand.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
No problem.
Appreciate you going over all those. Any other questions about the Koi Care products that we went over today before we move on? If not, then we're going to jump on to a couple of other things. All right. Thank you.
The stream is breaking up again.
Okay, so we're going to go back. I'm going to do a quick run through some updates in the store. Any questions, guys, please keep on asking.
Do you sell all the products you talked about?
We do. So we are the East Coast. I mean, there's retailers for Koi Care Kennel products all over the United States. But we also, if you're in the business, if you're a koi breeder, a distributor, a pond supply dealer, please contact Koi Care Kennel Wholesale at proformc.com. You can go on there and register and purchase wholesale. But you can also get all these products on the Koi Market websites. Any other questions? Any other questions? I may have to update the quantity. Can you go on Shopify and update the quantities for Prozzy so that everything is in stock? Because someone said that it's not showing that all the product is in stock. Prozzy Plus.
So this stuff.
Yeah, our product. Yeah. You can just add to the count. So someone had asked about this. So when I purchased all these fish, all these koi statues, to sell at the store, he had one in his office. It was the only one he was able to get, and I said I want that for my personal. And so this is the only one I actually got to keep, which is a Deutsche Showa.
It's not for sale.
And it's not for sale. It's my personal. It's my personal koi statue. But I wanted to show you something. It was my birthday the other day. I turned 52, and my son Travis had this piece of art commissioned. I'm going to put it in a really nice frame. But he had a local tattoo artist he commissioned to do this. How awesome is that? That's pretty cool, right? So I had the idea maybe we're going to talk to some other artists and we'll actually have some art all around here, and then maybe we'll do one day when we have enough art, we'll do some kind of exhibit of koi art. But this piece is just amazing. I love it. And no, I'm not having this put on my back because it's not happening.
The next tattoo I want.
That's awesome, right?
Austin says, "Proud dad moment."
I really am. You know what? You know what, Travis? That was it was very thoughtful.
Scott Jake says on your butt cheek, maybe.
Sadly, this will fit. I'm not this size, but I have it put across my chest.
Travis says, "Who's the one that commissioned it? It was Cameron Myers Da Vinci."
Thank you. He actually texted me this morning, but Michael has my phone, so I couldn't look it up. So he is a local tattoo artist. Travis just mentioned his name. So yeah, that's an amazing piece, and thank you very much, Travis. I love you. That was awesome. Cool. So as you can see, the store is a mess. It's an absolute mess. We actually had a little bit of a bloody massacre this morning. It's pretty much gone now, but we have all gravel in here. And Bodie, our store mascot, what kind of dog is Bodie?
A GSP, a German Shepherd.
A German short-haired pointer. She cut her foot on the gravel, I guess, and she came in here and there was blood everywhere. Like there were blood footprints all over the store. So we spent the morning cleaning that up because it looked like an absolute massacre. I have hose coming in.
Not in yet?
That's not in yet. It won't be here. I thought it was going to be here on Friday.
Okay.
It didn't come in yet.
Okay.
But I don't have that size yet. I don't carry this particular style of hose. This is a corrugated hose.
I know you.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
It still hasn't come in yet. I thought it would have been here.
Is this piece going to be okay to use?
It should be okay. Yeah, that'll fit inside.
Okay.
That'll fit inside the other hose. Yes.
When do you think you'll have that other hose?
I thought it was going to be here on Friday, but I don't know. If you want, leave your name and information with Gabe,
Sure.
and we'll call you.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you again, Trav. So everything is a huge mess here. All the bead filters are coming in, and they're actually going to go along this wall over here. We brought everything up from downstairs in the house because we were storing everything there. So it still has to go out on all the shelves. But I had mentioned to you guys that I wanted to set this up kind of like an Apple store so you can see how each product is laid out in a way that you can pick it up and look at it. And we did do some signs here for pricing, but I think I'm going to change the way it's done. Not super happy with the way it looks right now. And you can see here we have UVs, aeration systems, accessories for aeration, and I'm really happy with the way this looks. I hate that the wood was so twisted that we had to figure out a way to. I wish there was a way to untwist it, but yeah, that's too bad. But really happy with the way it looks. We have more fruit coming in next week. All the water treatments and everything are going on the back walls, and we're just filling the shelves now. We actually went to the warehouse and we picked up the rest of the fish tanks, which you can see all over here. So the way this works, I'll show you this really quickly. So you You have a bottom tank. Do I have any more bottom tanks? So here we go. So it's going to be 3 rows of fish tanks. So you have a bottom tank like this, and then the next row of tanks goes like this, and this will sit here on a shelf. And then you have a top tank, which is going to be like, what do we say? It's going to be, you're going to need a ladder. It's going to be like all the way up here. So you're going to need a ladder to get to that. And they go stacked like this, and we're going to wrap them all the way around here. It's another thing to add to the list of things to do. Well, we're excited. It's a new area for us. We've not dealt with aquarium stuff before. So we're excited to dabble into some other areas. I think we got I think we'll have about 30 tanks total. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be cool. Any questions about the store before we move on? How many people we have on? 37 people. So let's take a walk through.
What aquatic animals are going in these?
That is a great question. What aquatic animals are going to go in these? So we plan on doing fancy goldfish, other types of pond fish. So we're looking at golden orph, other types of goldfish, high-fin sharks, maybe sturgeon. I've always wanted to carry sturgeon. I love sturgeon. The issue with sturgeon is they're very temperamental. They have their own specific diet. You can't treat with treatments like Proform C. You'll kill the fish. So there are some things you have to be cautious of when you have something like sturgeon in the ponds. But let's cross over to the other side. So, Oh, excellent. Phone's going to die soon. So we're going to go and get it on the charger in a minute. Jameson set that up. Cool. All right, so we're still moving fish in here. There's a lot of room for more fish, and it's all happening slowly. We ended up having so much other stuff going on this week that we still have not taken, 80% of the fish out of the quarantine. So it's taking a bit longer than I would have liked. We were able to bring some fish in here. You can pan around and show some of the tanks. So this is our bigger koi house. So it's got Nisai, Sansai, Yansai. So Nisai 2-year-old, Sansai 3-year-old, Yansai 4-year-olds. Gosai, I don't think we might have a few Gosai as well, 5-year-olds. So the foam on the tanks will get pulled up by the skimmers, but right now, it's just collecting in the tanks. It is what it is right now. We'll have the tanks full after the fish have been in the tanks for a period of time, but because we're still adding more fish to the tanks, I have to be really careful about that because I don't want the fish to jump out. So after the fish are in for a period of time, anywhere from 3 to 5 days, they stop jumping. But they do jump when they're in a new environment, so we have to be careful. So Michael, we'll head over this way. To keep the air down on this one, and more on that one. The reason why is because it blocks everything from going this way, so it needs to circulate that way. So if you have less pushing this way, then more will pull this way. So now that stuff will end up going in here. It's all about proper circulation. So we keep the air low on this side because the skimmer is over here. And that's actually a good conversation about circulation. It's important that you want to get surface debris, surface bubble, things like that to go into the skimmer. For us, this is the skimmer that's in this tank. So I just walked over and you can see the aeration was vigorously on over in that corner, and it was creating surface turbulence all the way over to the skimmer that was stopping everything from getting to the skimmer. So we can just dial this a tiny bit. And the water level has to go up a little bit in here too. Can't go any higher. Oh, is it it hits that spot? All right. So right. So we actually have we have less fish in here. I think last week we didn't talk about it. We actually sold the biggest female we had in here. We had this gorgeous Deutz Mukashi that customer came in, saw it, and said, "I have to have that." And he took that fish, and he also took the Deutz Kogain Ochiba. And then we also have the Shusui, which our friend Paul is going to be taking soon, I would think. We have to talk to him. And Paul, you might be on there. Here's your fish coming up right now. There's Paul's Shusui right there. So the media we use in our Baki showers, you can see, this is actually a newer version of the media. You can see I have some foam all over my hands. So this is the media. So it used to be a circular media, and then it went to a square media, and now it's a square media with additional grooves. Now, the reason why they do this is because it's all about surface area. So if you make these grooves in it, it gives you some additional walls, which are a different additional surface area for beneficial bacteria, your nitrosamous and nitrobacter bacteria to grow. And then the same thing for the inside. Yeah, pretty cool. You can see in here, this is our own Koi Market Designs system. And in here you can see that we have a double spray bar in here. You can see how much the double spray bar gets across everything versus a single spray bar. And I'm not saying a single spray bar doesn't work, but we're always trying to improve things, and I found that doing a double spray bar would work better. So all of our Baki showers have a double spray bar. Pretty cool. All right, so we're going to head on over. Yes. We do sell the media. I'm currently out of the media. I'm waiting for more to come in. I don't know when it's coming. I don't have an answer for you. I have so many things going on right now, so it's one of those things that I have on the list pending. But if you want to, who is that? Is that Ralph? A couple of people, more people asking about the Baki media. I need to just get it in here. Yeah, it's time. So we'll get it over here. I'll keep you guys posted. If you want to text me that you're looking for it, that way we can follow up with you. Okay. All right. So I'd like to move on to the koi side of the show. You guys know what we have in quarantine. We'll go through and show you that really quickly. I have some fish moved over, and we're going to really start with those. You want to just start with those and then go in here after? Let's do that. All right, so Michael, why don't you show everyone as well? I just get some stuff set up here. Nope. Okay. I might have put it in there before I had everything. I think I put it over to the side. give us a second to get everything ready for you. So we did get the Platinums and the Shiros in here. And we did get Hiyutsuri, Ginrin Yamabuki, Asagi, and Shusui in here. How's it going?
Good, good, good.
Good.
Getting ready.
Excellent.
You guys did a nice job.
Thank you, thank you.
Nice to go to your place in Huntington. And, it's nice, but it's kind of crowded in here now.
We're pretty excited about the way it came out.
Yeah, it looks awesome. It's be good.
Yeah, I mean the season really just started, so we're kind of we're getting there right now.
Yeah, so this was great.
Thank you, thank you. Okay. Just grabbing a couple of fish for you guys. You ready, Michael? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting set up here. So we're going to start with Platinums. Really? and Shiro Utsuri. These are both from Yamacho Koi Farm. And these are going for $200 each. And guys, I want to just preface this with when it comes to the platinums. Okay? The platinums are so similar that we really can't tell them apart. So when you pick a platinum, just know that you're going to get a platinum. We can't get any further than that, other than if you're getting a Ginrin Platinum, then make sure you get a Ginrin Platinum. It will be one of the 200 platinums that we have, but I promise you we'll take a picture of it and it'll look as close as we can look, but getting that exact one in a tank full of them, it's just not going to happen. So I got to preface this beforehand that if you pick a platinum, then I have Ginrin Platinum and I have a standard flat white platinum in here. That you will get a Ginrin or a flat white platinum, but it may not be the exact one, but they all look almost exact. Just want to make sure that that's clear. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with a platinum. These guys are going for $200 each.
I have Adina wanting a Shiro.
Okay, I just started with a platinum, so I'll go to the Shiro in a second. Huh?
Just letting you.
Okay, starting with the platinum. Do we have our first platinum? These guys are 8 to 9 inches. These are absolutely gorgeous. You know, if you're going to pick a fish that you want to stand out in your pond, it's going to be one of these platinums. How many people we have on?
44.
44 people on. So these are from Yamacho Koi Farm. Ginrin Platinum. And these are going to grow up to be a stunning fish that will pop like unbelievable in your ponds. Any takers on a Ginrin Platinum? I know you guys have been asking about these. Every time someone comes into the store, they take one of these.
Right.
They're going for $200. Everything. These guys were in quarantine. We ended up being in quarantine. I mean, they were still in quarantine, but because we hadn't had time with everything going on to move everything, I mean, they were actually in the quarantine house for 6 weeks.
Chris Sims will take one.
All right, Chris, it's yours. All right. So, guys, when we talk about Shiro, you can see that they're continually evolving as far as their color and patterns. Yes.
Adina wants one with less black.
With less black. Okay. So you can see. I mean, this one right here. It's got a good amount of white eye now. And what I'll say is, you can see this one and this one. So you can see a little bit of black coming up all around in this middle right here. These nice and clear Shiroji or Shiro being white, right in the middle here, as well as right around here on this one. And then you got a nice open Shiro area here, and on the back here, and on the tail. I have others too, so...
Lorna Kennedy would like one as well, so let's...
Okay, so this one right here has got quite a bit of Shiroji or Shiro white on it right here. So let's start with we'll do a 1, 2, and 3. This one right here, and you can see some Sumi black coming up, is number 1. This one right here, which is the most white, is going to be dry. just want to make sure she's okay. Sorry, guys. Just 1 second. Hey, I'm just doing a show. You okay? Okay. 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 So again, we have number 1. These are gorgeous, gorgeous Shira. So here's number 1 is right here. Number 2 right here is a smaller one, and number 3 is right here. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Do we have a taker on number 1? Number 1, nice step pattern. So 1, 2 plus the head. So here's koi number 1. Number 2 is right here, and number 3. Do we have any takers on number 1? Number 2 or number 3? Here's number 1, here's number 2, and here's number 3. 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay.
And Adina says she would like to see others.
Okay. Guys, any other takers? Number 1, number 2, and number 3. These are all very nice. Guys, remember, you're not just buying what you're seeing at the surface. You got to think about where this fish is going. Okay? This has sumi coming up right here. Some more sumi is filling in here on this one. This one has more sumi coming up here and up here. And this one has some sumi filling in here. Got a nice pattern on the head. Any takers on 1, 2, or 3? Going once.
So, Austin Brett is asking, are the lives still only on Facebook? I have people who don't use Facebook, so can't get on.
So really good question, Austin. We are actually going to be going live on multiple platforms, possibly as soon as next week. We have licensed some new software that's going to allow us to stream on at least 3 other platforms, including YouTube and TikTok. So yeah, that is going to be happening soon. Good question. How do you stop a phone call and still do the stream?
To somebody else. Or to push your calls to somebody else.
Okay. We have a phone. We just haven't set it up yet. Sorry guys, if it's freezing, it's because I was getting calls in. Alright, one more time and then we're going to move on.
So the 2, Adina and
yeah.
they say pass.
Okay. Alright, so let's move on. So we have a few more in here.
Adina wants one with less developed sumi.
Less developed sumi. Okay, so on this one here, you can see sumi is coming up around the fish, coming up on the sides. What do you think of this one?
Everyone's saying that they're frozen. Oh, and Austin Brett is asking, are these videos posted on YouTube after?
They are. The videos do get posted to YouTube.
Now she's saying she can't see it.
Okay. Well, that's not good.
Brian Malone is saying it's frozen. Lots of people are saying it's frozen.
I don't know what to do.
Tell them that's saying it's frozen.
Huh?
Tell them that's saying it's frozen.
Any thoughts on what we should do here? We moved the Wi-Fi, didn't we? So.
Oh, I'm off with that right now.
Oh, you're not on Wi-Fi right now?
Far away, yeah.
Well, why don't you try it and see what happens? I'm gonna try the Wi-Fi if you guys can hear me. We're a bit far away from it. We're gonna try it, so it's gonna try and reconnect when we do that.
Alright, so everyone's saying it's good, so I guess they refreshed their end. So Edina just reloaded. Lorna says she likes this one, but she's waiting for Edina to say if she wants that one or not. So she has first.
Okay. Lauren, what's her name?
Lorna?
Lorna. Oh, thank you, Lorna. That was really nice of you to do. Edina, Lorna's interested in this one, but she wants to know if you're interested in it first.
Edina's asking, can you put more similar to that one in so that she can take a pic?
So here's another one with it. You can see Sumi developing on the fish. You can see Sumi coming up all around in a nice pattern. So guys, if you're paying attention to what Lorna and Edina are doing here, they're not just picking the fish based on the way it looks.
Edina says there's 3 in the bowl. So I guess there's another one that looks, I guess it's that guy over there. Maybe that. Or this one.
And this guy we had in there already. This is one we had in there before. I mean, I can number them. So this darkest one was number 1. The one with the least amount of Sumi developed so far will be number 2 and number 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Okay, here you guys. Number 1, number 2, and number 3.
Edina says I like 3.
Okay, number 3.
Hello?
Okay, here's the one that you were looking at before. Laura?
She says yes.
Okay, it's yours. Good. Okay. Any other shearers? Would you like to go back to another platinum? Let's check out these platinums. They're so clean, so pure white. You're never going to see a more pure white than this. Absolutely gorgeous, these platinums.
The Shiros aren't Ginrin, right?
The Shiros are not Ginrin, no. The Shiroji is super, super white, which is amazing.
I have a question.
Yes.
Well, James Hogan will take a platinum,
Okay.
and Allison Devon is asking, at their age, is it better to buy those who haven't developed completely?
Yeah, so none of these have developed completely, guys. All of these have a way to go.
This is Ginrin platinum?
This is Ginrin Platinum, yes.
So James Hogan got.
Less developed, and this is a good question. I mean, it depends on what you're looking for. So as an example here, here's two. So this one has quite a bit of sumi on it. Now, I don't think the sumi is going to go away. So this one's going to be a primarily black Shiratsuri versus this one here, which you can see it's just coming up here and back here, and it has on the head. So it's got a nice delineation between the different areas here. You can see sumi is coming up here. There's also still sumi coming up on this one here. Is there any interest in anything else in it? You guys, anyone else interested in a platinum before we move on? Any comments, Michael? All right, so guys, I'm going to put these guys back unless someone else is interested here. Some very nice Shiras. Any other comments before I put these guys back? You know, we spent a lot of time on the education part of this today, so we don't have a lot of time for fish today.
Do you have any tantra choa?
I do have some. That's not actually what we're doing today. I may go into the other room after. Let's see. Let me see how far we get with this first. So we're going to move over and grab some other fish. Some special stuff coming your way. Michael, come here a second. Okay. Everyone's jumping around here, so it's hard to see. Just give me a second here, guys. I'm going to show you something you guys have almost definitely never seen before. Which one? Yeah. I feel like they've gotten redder just being in this room here. I'm gonna grab some more, a couple more. feel like just being in the sun in the last day, they've already changed. Give us a second, guys. Okay. Hey, grab that one right there. Looking for Ginrin Yamabuki. Okay, guys. All right, let's bring those over. Here we go. All right, got some special stuff here, guys. These are all from Maruhiro. So I have Asagi, Shusui, Ishusui, and Ginrin Yamabuki. Actually, I have a regular Yamabuki in here as well. But what was that? And a Ginrin Asagi. Alright, so guys, these are $200 each. They're from Maruhiro. I guarantee you guys, I don't want to say guarantee, but I am pretty sure you have not seen a Ginrin Yamabuki before. I only had them once before. It was many years ago, and they were really hard to get, but I managed to get them again. Guys, these are $200 each, and we also have Hiyutsuri from, I said they were all from Maruhiro. We have Hiyutsuri from Kano? I believe it's from Kano, which I really like. All right, what do you guys think? Let me hear some comments. Check these guys out. These guys are $200 each. We have Ginrin Asagi, Ginrin Yamabuki, Shusui, Hishusui, which would be a red Shusui, and Hiyutsuri, and regular Asagi as well. Right, I have one regular Yamabuki. Alright, so let's start this off. Start off with Shusui. Nice bluish gray hue. Really black eyes. Rudolph red nose. Gorgeous Shusui. We have any takers on this Shusui going for $200. Nice scalation down the spine. David, it's yours. Nice fish. Maybe lower it down and I can bend it up, or taking a quick photo, guys. Next, Ginrin Yamabuki. Guys, God. We're waiting on. Okay. Guys, I do have a limited quantity of Ginrin Yamabuki. I did hold a few back for myself that I can grow out, because again, these are really hard to get. And I'd like to actually see. Can you just imagine a large Ginrin Yamabuki swimming around your pond? These are super rare, and I only have a few, and we're probably the only people in the country that have these. I can't imagine anyone else even knowing about them. So Ginrin Yamabuki, going for $200. Here's the first one. Any takers? Super rare, Ginrin Yamabuki.
Keith Akali wants 2.
Okay.
I don't know who they are.
There you go. There's 2. These are really cool. What's his name? Pete?
ACCEL.
This is the first time for Pete, I think. Pete, welcome to the show. I think this might be your first time purchasing from you, because I don't recognize the name. thank you. What I need you to do, guys, if you're a first-time buyer, we didn't discuss this before. We have our layaway program, our boarding program. We can pretty much ship these fairly quickly to you.
Pete with the big pond.
Okay, Pete with the big Pete. I have so many customers with Big Pond. I'm not sure. So Pete, you live local.
And then Scott Jenko wants to see the large Yamabuki that's not yet.
Okay, we'll show you. Okay, so Pete, these are yours. I need you to text me. Okay, I need you to send a text. Okay, excellent. So you're close. All right, so Pete, I do need to text. You need to text me 516-547-0164. I need your full name, full address, your email, and your phone, your mobile phone. Okay, 516-547-0164. All right, these two are yours. You got them? All right, next. Michael, what do you want to do next?
Scott Jenko wants to see the large Yamabuki.
Large Yamabuki. Good size Tosai. Mahiro. 10 to 11 inch. I could certainly bring some more out as well. This is actually one of the larger ones that we had.
Thanks.
Okay. So next, we're going to do 3 fish. I have a Shusui, a Hiyutsuri, and a Ginrin Asagi. Shusui, Hiyutsuri, Ginrin Asagi. We don't need to number them because you just need to tell me which one you want. Shusui, Ginrin Asagi, Hiyutsuri. Any takers? Hiyutsuri has nice step pattern. Both pectoral fins are black. Nice scalation down the spine on the Shusui. Get some bending on the left and right sides. And the Asagi is a Ginrin Asagi. And it's got red pectorals, red cheeks, red in the tail, and red on the belly. Any takers? Shusui, Hiyutsuri?
Wants to get 2 Hiyutsuri.
2 Hiyutsuri. Okay. So, Jeremy, I'll hold this one Hiyutsuri for you. We'll pick another one. We have any takers on the Shusui or the Ginrin Asagi? Any takers on the Shusui or the Ginrin Asagi? Going once. Going twice. I'm starving. So hungry. Huh?
Have food right now.
I didn't eat anything. I had no breakfast this morning. I'm starving. Going twice. Shusui and Asagi. I'm going to put them aside. I'm going to find another Hiyutsuri.
Can I take a picture of that?
Now, guys, when it comes to Hiyutsuri, they're going to be lighter in color when they're Tosai. Okay, they're going to redden up as they get older. In fact, I mean, I don't know how the breeders do it. I mean, they almost look like Hiyutsuri when they're Tosai, when they're really young. All right, so we got this one. We're going to find one more for you. Here are 3 I have in the bowl. Okay, the largest one is number 1. The red is Benny is number 2, and this one's number 3. 1, 2, or 3. 1 is the largest one in here. Now this is going to redden up.
Anthony, Vitali,
Yeah.
when is it safe to pick up fish for Long Island? Getting a little restless with a couple of warm beers.
I don't know. 10 o'clock, 10:05. So it's really based on temperature. So when your water is 60 plus, consistent 60s, you're good to come and pick them up. If none of these heats are doing it for you, let me know. They're open. Why? That's weird. Huh? All right. Any comments on Heatsuri?
Jeremy, the biggest one.
The biggest one. And Jeremy got the other 2?
Jeremy,
Or the other one? All right, Jeremy, that one's yours. Good.
hold on.
All right, next. This is a really neat Ginner and Asagi. I'm going to pull that one. And then let's going to pull a standard Asagi, number 2. Let's do this. This one is really unique. Check these guys out. Look,
Austin Brett says, I like number 1. Any more like that?
number 1 on the Heatsuri from before. We'll go back to the Heatsuri. I'll actually pull some more since we sold most of the ones we had in here. I think I have a couple left. I'll grab some more. Right now I have these 2 Asagi. I have a Ginrin and a standard Asagi. We actually consider that a he Asagi. It's super, super red head, red pectorals, red belly, and red tail. And then the same on this Ginrin Asagi. Gorgeous, gorgeous, really nice Ginrin. Dorsal fin has the red belly in it, the tail, the belly, and the pectorals. So number 1 is the Ginrin, number 2 is the standard Asagi. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2. Any takers? Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is Ginrin. These guys are cool. Number 1 and number 2. Any takers? Number 1 is the Ginrin. Very unique fish. Number 1 and number 2.
Simone Schwartz.
Yeah.
Jim Gill, I'll take number 1 Ginner.
Number 1 is yours. Gorgeous fish. I love this fish. Debating actually, I'm thinking to myself, should I hold this fish back? Because this fish is really cool. What was the other person saying?
Just said yes.
Oh. Unfortunately, you have to be a bit clear on what exactly you're saying yes to. So this one is now sold. You know, who is it sold to? Jim?
Jim Gill.
Jim. That one was sold to Jim. So we had 2 fish in the net, so we still have 1 left, and then I can put another fish in here. So here are the 2 that we have here. We have
The Asagi I was showing you before, is that the Asagi? It's not the Asagi I was showing you before. This is the Asagi. This is the Asagi I was showing you before. I'm going to call it a Asagi because it's got super, super red Benny on it. And then we have a Ginrin Yamabuki here. Any takers? Number 1 is the Asagi. Number 2 is the Ginrin Yamabuki. Again, Ginrin Yamabuki, super, super rare. In fact, there was one point where I got into an argument with someone about Ginrin Yamabuki, where he, who was like an expert in the field at that time, got into a huge argument with me about the fact that Ginrin Yamabuki do not exist. I beg to differ. Will not name any names. Number 1, Asagi. Number 2, Yamabuki, Ginrin Yamabuki. Any takers? Going once.
Show the Shisui.
Huh?
Show the Shisui.
I'll show the Shisui next. We have a couple of really unique Shisui. I'll pull them. Any takers on either of these two guys? If you see something you like during the show, you can always take a screenshot of it and follow up with us afterwards. Number 1, Asagi. Number 2, Ginrin Yamabuki. We always try and bring unique fish in here, guys. You know, for us, you know, we're trying to be different than the other dealers that are out there. We try and carry some fish that are unique, that you're not going to really find anywhere else. Even if it's the same type, we're trying to carry a subset of that fish that just looks unique. Does everyone have Yamabuki? Sure, but no one has Ginrin Yamabuki.
Austin Brett said, I had a Ginrin Yamabuki butterfly years ago. It was incredible. Never saw it again. I think the bird got it out of my pond.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. I cannot wait to see a large Ginrin Yamabuki. When we finally build a pond here, we're definitely going to have a Ginrin Yamabuki in there. Absolutely. Alright, I'm going to move on, guys. We're moving on up. So I'm going to grab 2 fish here. I'm going to grab 2 Shusui. There's one. And this is a he Shusui, which is a red Shusui. It's red. And guys, the Benny on this is super, super red. I mean, take a look at that. It's very red. Look at these guys. That's red. You guys are constantly asking us, Sean, can you find us something red? These are red. So number 1 is the he Shusui, he being red. And number 2 is the standard Shusui. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is the he Shusui. Number 2 is the standard Shusui. Now, you guys, what was that? They're $200 each. Guys, the history behind the Shusui, we've talked about this before. So, really interesting is we have, and I'm going to grab this Asagi just so I can explain this story to you. This is the Asagi. This is, when it comes to the history of koi, this was the first mutation of a standard carp. In the rice fields in Japan, they saw this fish. It was a mutation of the standard carp, and it looked, we don't know exactly what it looked like, but it looked somewhat like this. They then took that fish and they bred it out, and they created the Asagi. Carp, or koi, you know, carp, or koi, our Japanese colored carp, continued to grow in popularity. And I guess at one point, the German government came to Japan and gave a gift to the Japanese. Okay, in Germany they also had carp, but they had what they call their mirrored carp, or a Deutz koi. Okay, Deutz actually means German. So the German government gave this Deutz, or German scaled fish, to the Japanese government as a present. I don't know how they kept them alive from Germany all the way to Japan. I have no idea. Would love to hear that story. And the Japanese government then gave those Deutsch koi out to various koi farms in Japan. They bred them with the existing asagi, and the first fish to come out was the shusui, which is this fish here. Just a quick little story. So we have this he shusui and a shusui here. Do we have any takers? Number 1 is the he, number 2 is the standard. 1 or 2. Any takers, number 1 or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? Come on, guys. These are some nice fish. Any takers, number 1 or number 2? Nope. Going once. Going twice. Alright, we're moving on. Alright, guys, is there anything else in this bowl before we move on to something else? I know that someone was also interested in Hiyutsuri. I can refresh with some other Hiyutsuri. Anything else in this bowl before I wrap it up? Can't believe that we didn't sell every fish in this bowl. These fish are gorgeous.
Chris Langer.
Yes.
Like to see standard asagis.
Sure.
Maybe just refresh it with some other stuff.
So, standard asagi.
And Carson Jensen wants Hiyutsuri. So you want to just refresh?
Yeah. You want to take everything else out, and I'll just hold on to these guys. And if you find any other standard asagi, here, I'll hold these to the side, and you can. Okay. Just gonna collect these guys and grab a few more. One more. Hey, Mila. Mila just came to say hi. Hi, baby. Hi. 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 Don't pee on my foot, please. So Mila, my son Zach's dog Mila, she's walking around. She loves everyone, but she happy pees every time she sees someone. It's very cute. But every time she comes up to someone, she does a little bit of happy pee. We call it happy pee. So we're just going to grab a couple more asagi for you. Also looking for Deutschella. I do have all those things. So we're going to grab some Hiyutsuri. Let's grab another scoop. Oh, that's great. Wait, look at this one. Just grabbing a couple more fish, guys.
Do you have any of these ones? You don't have a extra?
I don't. Just use a fern coat. Use a fern coat, like like a rubber coupling. Sorry, guys. Take a look at these guys. Just refresh the bowl. Some more hued suri. Some more sagi. 2 more shusui. A couple of customers looking for some other stuff too. You want to start with hued suri? Start with these two. So we have 2 hued suri here. We have the first one has a bit more sumi on it, and then there's a second one here. I mean, they both have a fair amount of sumi on them. So both have black pectorals, symmetrical black pectorals. We'll start number 1 is this one right here, number 2 is this one right here. Number 1 and number 2. Any takers, number 1 or number 2?
How old?
Huh?
How old are they?
Oh, these are tosai. I mean, they're probably 6, 8 months. Number 1 and number 2. They're going for $200 each. These are from Kano Koi Farm. First time we brought it from Kano. Very happy with their hued suri. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 has more sumi than number 2. Any takers on number 1 or number 2? These guys are a good size. These are good 10 to 11 inch. Number 1 and number 2. And guys, when it comes to hued suri tosai, they're gonna redden up. Okay, they take a while. In fact, when hued suri are really young, I mean they're yellow. I'm not even sure how they tell the difference between a hued suri and a hued suri when they're that small, because they're so similar. So this is all gonna redden up. So there's number 1 and number 2. Any takers on number 1 or number 2? Bless you. No comments. Going once.
Carson Jensen,
Number
number 2.
2. That's the gentleman I was looking before, right? What is the name? Carson? Okay, Carson. Carson, good pick. Huh?
Information.
And Carson, this is your. I couldn't hear what Michael was saying. It's very loud in here. So Carson, this is your first time purchasing from us. We need to get some information from you. So you need to text me your full name, address, email address, and mobile number. You can send it to 516-547-0164. Again, your full name, your address, your email address, and your mobile number. So 516-547-0164. If you are a new purchaser, we need to get this information. Guys, it's required that if you're paying it off, your first payment, and generally if you're probably at the right temperature now, but payment needs to be within 2 days. If you're paying it off over a period of time, that's fine, but your first payment would need to be done within 2 days. Let's do this large Shusui here. Really nice Shusui. Going for $200. Check the Shusui out. Gorgeous. Good size. 11-inch. Any takers on the Shusui for $200. It's a very nice fish, guys. Really like to see someone go home with this one.
Is that a Kaje Utsuri?
No,
It's just talking about that.
it's not though.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's not a Kage. So these are all Utsuri in here. It's not a Kage.
Austin Brett.
All right, Austin, good pick. Nice Shusui. So we should start a new tank for Soul Tosai. But we don't have. We can prepare that first one if you wanted to move that over. Yeah.
That way I know.
Yep.
What's what.
We had someone that was interested in the Sagi before. We have a
You just reminded me.
yes. So I have a couple of Asagi in here. We have a bunch. So if I was going to pick an Asagi,
What kind of fish is that?
looking for a nice reticulated scale. Each individual scale on them, you can see. You have Benny in the cheeks, Benny in the gill plates, Benny in the pectoral. This one's a bit darker, but still, you can still see individual scales with fukurin in between the scales.
Some other person, Scott
Yes.
Timpani, any Sekiguchi, and Chris Sims is asking any blue Susui.
We do have some blue Shusui. I actually have one in here. I'll show that to you. Here's number 1, Asagi, and number 2.
No Sekiguchi?
There's no Sekiguchi in here.
No, any. We don't have that.
So we have, now, I mean, the Sekiguchi show we had, I think we've sold out.
Chris says pass on this.
Okay. Here's that blue Shusui, just so you can see it. Really nice Benny. What do you think of this one? It's a nice fish.
Maybe for this big guy next.
The Asagi? Okay.
Which other one did you show?
I showed this one here and that one there.
To do that one too. That one and the big one.
Alright, I only have one Shusui left here, so let me know about that Shusui.
Oh, Scott says, I have a thing for Sekiguchi pearl scale Benny Boy. We sold those all.
Yeah, we sold all of those. They went pretty quick. So here's 2 more Asagi. There's a much darker scaled Asagi.
Chris says pass because he's looking for less red.
Less red on the Shusui.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Scott Jenko is asking, what is that large off-white yellow with scalation? Big boys think it was going for 8,500.
Yeah, you're talking about the Mukashi? Yeah.
Any juveniles?
Nope. I have no I have no other Mukashi other than that fish. We sold the Deutsch Mukashi the other day. Any interest in either of these Asagi? No? Alright, we're moving on. Alright, take a look in this bowl. If there's an Asagi in here, let me know, and I'll try and find it for you. If there's a Hiyatsuri you like, let me know. I can look for a blue Shusui. Hey, take a look at this bowl. I'll look for... Oh, he left? He's gone? Okay. Alright, I think we're going to move on. How many people are on? Alright. So, we can call the show today, or we can move on to, I was thinking maybe the Kase Showa Tosai. You want to wait till it's in here?
It makes it easier for both of us.
Guys, let me know if there's something else you want to see. I have a couple of special fish. We got a whole thing of Deutsch Showa here. Hey, Michael, come here a sec. Hold that open. Which one? We had a Tancho. I want to grab a Tancho show. It's, motherfucker. God damn. Michael, put these out, and I'll put the. I gotta order another. I think I ordered one, but. Ah. Hi. Good, Michael. Just do that there while I had to fix something.
All right, guys. Sean's in a bit of a pickle right now, so I'm gonna continue the show. Yalla. Gabe is gonna be behind the camera now. Here's my phone. Gabe is assisting me right now. All right, guys. So Carson is looking for some Deutsch Showa. I have some Deutsch Showa and Sankei here from Suzuki.
Where did you get to?
I already read them all.
Even this?
Oh, Brian, just send Sean a text message and then he'll come back to you with that. These are from Suzuki. These are going for $400. So we're gonna start off with this guy. I just think he's just super red. Suzuki Tosai going for $400. Super bright red, jet black Sumi. Just an all around amazing fish. So these are between 10 and 12 inches, depending on which fish. I'm going to put two of them. I have a Tancho Showa here as well in the net. So I'm going to put these two together for you guys to look at. Each is going for $400. These are from Suzuki Koi Farm, which Suzuki is not making any more koi. So these are a very special limited edition production of fish. Officially retired, yes. He's officially retired from breeding and making koi. Let me know, Carson, if you like these fish, or if there's another one in the bowl that you want to look at. Or anybody else who's interested as well. These are going for $400. These are Tosai. Jumbo Tosai.
Carson Jensen said one is okay, would like to compare to others.
Say it again?
One is okay, would like to compare to others.
Okay. Carson, which one are you liking so that I remember? Is it the Tancho or the non-Tancho one? And then I'll pull some more out.
I think
Just let me know, and then I'll move on and show the other guys in here so that you can get a look. The cage fell. Yeah.
is there a hole in the line?
No. The cage is that's the small one.
Non-poncho.
Okay. That one's a nice one. I'll pull up some more. Maybe this one. This one. Here's another 3 of them. I have one more. Maybe I can just put it in. I'm going to just show the rest of the 4 that I had.
Perfect hand model. Perfect hand model.
Oh, thank you. Is that what somebody said?
No, that was me.
Oh, thank you. Let me know, Carson. All amazing fish. Suzuki really made some amazing Deutsch Showa and Deutsch Sankei. Yes, I forget which one it is. What?
Or did I shut it off? I think
No, you shut it off. She's comparing right now. She likes the one that's under the net. You want to finish?
I was gonna grab a Concho Showa.
Oh, she didn't like this one.
But no, we had some other ones. Is this
Bless you.
the toy shop from there?
Yes, it's this one.
Scott Jenko said, is that some Sumi coming up on the larger one on the right side of the head on the last two?
On the last two?
On the larger one on the right side of the head on the left.
I'm assuming you're talking about this one, Scott?
Under net.
Oh, yes. There's always Sumi coming up. Anything that looks like a tinge of blue is Sumi being developed and coming underneath the skin.
Carson said, can you put the biggest one in net with the previous non-Tonto?
Sure.
Austin Brett said Carson is actually Ryan, her husband, who doesn't have Facebook.
I got
So
you.
She is he.
I got you. Carson, Ryan. So from now on, Carson is Ryan.
Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan, for joining the show. Now I'll know when I invoice later. Just so you guys know, we will be switching to a multi-platform streaming service where you guys can then watch from YouTube, from Facebook, from TikTok, from Instagram, whatever you name it. We'll be doing it soon.
What are we doing?
We're going to hopefully be doing it next week if we have the time to test out the software and make sure that it works. So Ryan, let me know which one you like better.
So you're telling me that you're going to have all of the platforms lined up for you?
No, it's going to be one application that does it all. We may have somebody being a moderator, though. Yeah, probably you.
Sorry, Ryan will take the smaller one.
You'll take the first one that we looked at? Just confirm it's this one? That would be the smaller one, right?
Looks like it to me.
Just let me know it's the first one that we showed you before we move on, Ryan. And then Sean will take back over.
He said yes.
All right, cool.
Good. That's fine.
I put a couple more in here. I put 2 Tancho Showa. I think you had a Tancho Showa in there already, Michael?
What?
You had 1 Tancho Showa in there already?
Yeah.
All right. Let's just do 2 at a time. We have very nice Tancho Showa, nice spot, really nice Deutscho. You can see Sumi coming up along the back here. It's going to be a very nice fish. Nice symmetrical Motoguru on the pectoral fins. Then you have this Tancho Showa right here. Number 1's the Tancho, number 2 is the Deutschoa. These are going for $400 each from Suzuki. These are the last fish to ever come from the Suzuki koi farm. The breeder has since retired and is no longer breeding koi. Number 1 and number 2. Sumi's coming up on this Tancho. Sumi's also coming up on the back tail and some more sumi up front here too. Really nice fish. Any takers? Number 1, Tancho. Number 2 is the Deutschoa. How many people on?
36.
Got 36 people on. Any takers? Are we going to pass? And I think we're gonna. If then no one else wants anything in his bowl, we're gonna call for the show today. It's 2:21. We're going for a couple of hours. Any takers? Guys, you can always take a screenshot of what's in this bowl. If there's anything else in here, let me know. If you're new, remember you guys have to text me at 516-547-0164. If this is your first time purchasing fish, you need to make sure you text me at 516-547-0164. I need a couple of things. I need your full name, your full address, your email address, and your mobile number. Okay? We're going to send you an invoice right away, and you'll need to pay that invoice within the next 2 days. Otherwise, you forfeit the fish. Any takers on anything in this bowl before we get going? I want to thank everyone. Oh, Michael's just typing. I want to thank everyone for joining the show today. I'm glad we're able to get everything going. Is the phone going to fall off there? Thank you guys for joining the show. We had a lot of people on today. And if you ever have any questions, you can always reach out to me. Sales@coinmarket.com is my email address, and you can text me at 516-547-0164. And we'll talk soon.